How's it going, guys? My name is Mittens, and today is a very special day because, as you know, at 12 midnight tonight, Legion is released and we will be venturing off to the Broken Isles to deal with some demonic invasions and all that goodness. But I thought it was a good time to look back at World of Warcraft, and I think that whilst we can all agree that the game has improved in so many ways over the years, we will still all agree that there are various reasons why it is good for us as players for nostalgia and for Blizzard as a company to look back at the game as it once was and see what made the game so popular and what good features that have maybe been left behind or remain in the past iterations of World of Warcraft. And to that end, we are going to be playing some vanilla World of Warcraft. I know how much you guys love watching some private server vanilla World of Warcraft, and I enjoy playing it, to be honest, and I thought, what better way for us all to get hyped together for the expansion that's coming out than for us to venture back in time and play a bit of vanilla World of Warcraft. Now, as you guys know, I'm quite partial to making undead characters, but I'm not going to make an undead this time, mainly because that's what I played when I played in Nostalgia. So what we're going to make is an orc. We're going to go full Zug, full Zuggy Zuggins, and we're going to go with an orc warrior. So let's just get into the customization. Gonna go full on green. Change that hairstyle a bit. I like the top knot. Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, I like that. Give him a bit of a mean looking face. Yeah, that's what it's about. Do I want to change the hair colour at all? Skin colour? Oh, I might go... I'm not going to go like blue-green. I'm loving it. Somebody's taken Malevolus on this server. Whoever you are, you're a bastard. Because they've taken it with the O spelling. It's not even like they can say, oh no, I just like the word Malevolus. Because I spell it with an O, right? So you fucked up, mate. I'm going to find you. I'm going to hunt you down. Probably some fucking undead rogue impersonating me. So we're going to call ourselves Malevolorc. Because why the fuck not? So guys, we're about to log in, and I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support that this channel has gotten, and I hope that you support me in the new expansion of World of Warcraft, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Now, I have no plans to make a new series out of this. I've got a lot on my plate, and I know that I'll be playing Legion a lot in the coming weeks. But if this gets a lot of support, this video, I will definitely think about doing more private server stuff, because I know how much you guys appreciated my Nostalgia's playthrough. So without further ado, let's log in into Durotar. Watch that intro film, because why the fuck not?
Orcish horde was corrupted by the Burning Legion and lured to the world of Azeroth. For generations, the orcs made war upon the human kingdoms of Stormwind
PvP,
and
mate.
Lordaeron. Though the horde was ultimately defeated, a visionary young war chief named Thrall rose to lead his people in their darkest hours. Under Thrall, the orcs freed themselves from the chains of demonic corruption and embraced their shamanistic heritage. After years of wandering, the orcs founded their own kingdom in the harsh wastelands of Durotar. Based in the warrior city of Orgrimmar, they stand ready to destroy all who would challenge their supremacy. As a proud defender of Durotar, it is your duty to crush your enemies, both seen and unseen. For the nefarious agents of the Burning Legion still wander the land.
That voice actor is a fucking badass. He's the guy who did Tyrannus Menethil, isn't it? Right, I've got to say though, do you guys remember when Thrall was actually an orc? Instead of the fucking bead-wearing, hoodie with no sleeve bastard he is today. Anyway guys, so I will quickly say my intentions in this video are to get to level 10, show you guys the introduction of World of Warcraft as it was if you made a character back in 2004. I think that we would all really enjoy that video. Just hearing the music of World of Warcraft, that old Durotar music really gives me the feels, man. And I don't think I'm going to put any background music in this video at all. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the soundtrack of World of Warcraft because it is a fantastic piece of music. So without further ado, let us take our first quest. Your place in the world. Because you know, killing boars and collecting cactus apples is where it's at. That's what I signed on to do, you know. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Cactus apple surprise all day long. Let's kill some boars, boys. Do wonder how it must look walking through the the desert lands of Durotar, and just seeing a green Arnold Schwarzenegger orc just hacking these pigs to death with a fucking double-headed battle axe. It's kind of overkill, to be honest, but anyway, we've killed 10 boars. We have in fact completed the mighty starting quest that is to kill 10 boars, and our journey is well underway. We are level 2. It's only 58 levels to go. Well on the way. It's weird to think just how memorable collecting these cactus apples can be. Now, we all know that this is some tricky work. Collecting 10 cactus apples, reduced to 6, I believe, in the old Cataclysm, because 10's just too many. That's slow cast time on the collection as well. Clearly the Cataclysm improved the orcish skill at collecting cactus apples. But we have to kill some vile familiars and some scorpid workers, and we will get to that. One thing I have noticed about Kronos is that it seems, and we are playing on Kronos though, if I didn't mention, is that I don't know if we've got the animation for when we're doing stuff. You know, the strange trickster moving of the hands animation doesn't seem to be occurring. Not that I give a shit. It's all good. Continuing. It is interesting to see that even on the eve of a new expansion being released, there seems to be a lot of people around here making new characters. I've seen at least 4 or 5 in the last 5 minutes, which really is almost comparable to a lot of WoW servers, which I find really interesting because I'm going to make a video at some point, and this is maybe spoiling it, but I'll just tell you anyway and you can tell me what you think. I'm going to make a video at some point where I discuss why Nostalrius, and to an extent Kronos, but far more so in my opinion, Nostalrius was so successful as a private server, and why private servers became so successful at the end of Mr. Pandaria and during Wars of Draenor. And a lot of the reason why I think that was because of the content drought that we experienced during WoD and at the end of MoP. I just find it interesting to see that people are still being drawn at quite a noticeable rate to private servers, particularly vanilla private servers. And I wonder whether that is demonstrating that it's more than simply a lack of content, it's also just a dissatisfaction with the game in general. And I think that might have been part of the reason why I wanted to do this little video for you guys on the eve of Legion being released, because I wanted to go back right before we undertake a new journey in a new expansion and look at what made the game so great in the past and why so many people prize this era of the game in its initial form as just so good. We have managed to collect 10 cactus apples. We have actually done that. I can inform you that the incredibly difficult task of collecting 10 cactus apples has been completed. And so now we're just bashing fuck out of stuff. And I've got to say, even though combat in Vanilla World of Warcraft is a lot more simplistic than it was, well, than it is now, there is something really fun about just bashing things to death with a big axe. There's this orc guy, you know, full on zug-zug. Very far from civilized. I mean, we all want to think of the orcs as civilized now, thanks to Thrall. What happened? Sometimes, when I play old school World of Warcraft, it does make me think back to Thrall. And I think to myself, Thrall, mate, what the fuck happened to you? There was a time when Thrall wore heavy armor. And he was a badass, and he was one of the lads, yeah? He took the high road. Yeah, he didn't want to kill people. Think back to Ulduar, yeah? He was willing to negotiate. Code Blue. He was still a badass. And he was still an orc, yeah? The guy who helped kill Manoroth. That's who I think of when I think of Thrall. But what changed Thrall? I think we can all agree. It was the Dragon Soul, wasn't it? That fucking encounter at the end of Dragon Soul it just killed Thrall. He just realised, you know, what's the point? The game's gone soft. I should go soft as well. And hence, Green Jesus was born. What a soft shit. You know, am I the only person who actually preferred Garrosh in his initial stage before he went like full on Apocalypse Now on everybody? Like, I thought, you know, at least he got the job done. Do you know what I mean? Got the job done. Just realised that's what some people say about like Stalin and stuff. So maybe that isn't a good reason to think that Garrosh was cool. But fair enough. Let's get on with the questing. Now, as you know, a orc beginner playthrough would be incomplete without a Sarkoth kill. I have no idea what this... Oh, wow, it's a party. It's a party. Durotar knows. So let us begin and wait for him to spawn, appreciating the good moves as we wait for Sarkoth to rear his ugly head. This shaman is going to try and go in there first, but I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him. I will kill Sarkoth before this guy can. We've come to a compromise. It is Vanilla WoW. How could a Vanilla WoW playthrough be complete without a little bit of grouping for a lobby quest? Because, you know, modern World of Warcraft doesn't want you to group up. Why would you want to group up with anyone? Why would you want to play an MMO game and actually do things with other people? Do you know what I mean? Thinking back to those reasons why old school World of Warcraft was good, this is one of the reasons why. People actually wanted to do stuff together, you know? People didn't just get the credit for group stuff, so they grouped up and things like that. People could argue, yeah, but it meant that you'd be sat around for ages whilst groups cleared all kinds of content and you couldn't get into them, that kind of thing. But to be honest with you, I think it's a cheap argument. I think that ultimately the game allowed for more challenge. And a lot of that was down to just how simple it was. You know, you had a very simple rotation. In order to deal with a lack of mechanics, bosses and high-level mobs and elite mobs had loads and loads of health and did massive numbers. And ironically, what that led to was people having to work together. And after all, in an MMO, isn't that what we all want? Some people would say no, we want to just do LFR all day, but you know, what are you going to do? It's time to get funky. Sarkov in the house. 2v1, mate. Come on, you little insectoid bastard. This is truly riveting stuff. This is combat. The battle shout is enacted. For the play. Oh, clutch. Clutch. And there's the Mangle Claw. Thank you very much, Durotar, my friend. I bid you farewell. /wave. And I'm out of here. That world chat, though. Just give you a moment to look at that. Seen it? Okay, I'll see you later. Oh, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. As soon as this bald fuck falls asleep, he's getting bashed on his fucking noggin until he wakes the fuck up. Best quest EU, go to sleep, mate. I dare you. Come on. Oh, you want to do some more work? Look, I'm bigger than you, because you're just a fucking peon, mate. Oh, you're going to do it right in front of me, are you? Bang, mate. Not even got it on the action bars. Banged, mate. Chat shit. What? Disrespectful. On a serious note, though, guys, this is the second, time that I've grouped up with somebody in this starting zone to do quests. And it just goes to show, certain mechanics in the game, which you might think are simplistic, like the fact that you couldn't share quest XP with people who were in the same area as you, suddenly become sources of interaction when people are encouraged to work together in order to get a profit. And that's what people are doing. And it's so awesome to see, I've already done more interaction now than I would do in Retail WoW in, a whole day of questing or whatever. And it's fun. It really is fun. Yeah, boys and girls, level 5 achieved. On our way to 60, no doubt. Leaving the den behind, it's time to go to Senjin Village and do some troll shit. Down with the voodoo. I'm really looking forward to it. Look at me, got some mail on. Witness me. And it's on to Razor Hill. We are done at Senjin Village. Got all that crawler mucus. That's a Cthulhu impression. Got all them tiger furs. The drop rate on them is fucking awful. Vanilla drop rates, not to be saluted. And it's time to go on to Razor Hill and we will continue our epic journey. Level 7. Elite. Elite warrior though. First time you enter Razor Hill is a momentous occasion for any World of Warcraft player. This is full-on Zug. We've got guys with horned helmets, black wolves that shit everywhere to the max. Maximum swobu. Absolutely swobu. We're loving it. Main brain chilling here, good lad. Let's do some questage. Time to buy some new updated abilities because, you know, this is vanilla World of Warcraft and we have to buy those abilities. A level 10 quest, I believe we can get. Thunderclap. Wouldn't be good without it. The best kind of clap. If you know what I'm saying. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Put it on the G. Because it's an ability for the G's. This is for the G's and the keys. If you can tell me you said that, then props to you. Props to you indeed. I'm not going to do the Zalazane quest because it's too difficult. I'm a scrub lord. What we are going to do is kill some culter-ass dogs in the name of Green Jesus and co. It's a code blue situation. Alliance infestation everywhere. Get the bug spray out. Lieutenant Benedict, mate. It's time for you to go down. I like your sword. Some good transmog going on there. But I'm going to have to take you out, mate. Nice to show you guys some of that classic vanilla World of Warcraft warrior style play. Got myself a shield there. First shield of the game. Scripted, obviously. Right, okay. Oh, no. Oh, you cheeky fucking bastard. You cheeky bastard. Tagging the mob. I really want you to die. The rogue in me wants you to die. a most painful death. But you're not gonna, are you? I'm not gonna help you though. Fuck off. So now that that troll hunter decided to kill Lieutenant Benedict of her own volition, I have hooked up with Aranos, the shoeless shaman. Oh, there's a main brain. You're already a party leader, mate. Oh no, you're not. We've got a group going on now. It's a bit of a ball fest. It is green balls all over the place. Look at the raid positioning though. It is spicy. Everybody's around the room. He has no chance. It's like a sting operation. Police camera action could not do this better. I'm at the rear right now, giving commands, as you do. The Lord Commander of the Ball Watch. Alright lads, engage combat mode. Lieutenant Benedict Cumberbatch is going down. Code blue in the house. He's surrounded by... It's an orc sandwich. It is the setting of some kind of strange pornographic film. My mind is a sieve of pure horror. 3 bald orcs surrounding a balding human male. Think about that one, if you will. Let's get out of here. Prepare for a blow-by-blow account of how Vanilla WoW was played for a player under the level of 40. Are you watching closely? This is your life for the next 40 levels. Forrest Gump it, mate. You will run everywhere. And you'll start to wonder why you run just as slow as you do. Who wants a mount after all? Barons is up next. Good luck, my friends. Good luck. Okay, we've left Razor Hill. Nearly level 9. Moving up in the world. And it's time to help a goblin out. You see, we've risen from the depths, from the noobish depths of collecting cactus apples. We are now helping a goblin with his sack. Yes, exactly what you heard. I forgot how fun this game is. It really is good to see Vanilla WoW again. I must say, I can already tell that the population is maybe not what it was on Nostalrius. But, I mean, there's a few reasons why that's the case. I think a lot of people, including myself, were put off by the fact that you need to invest quite a lot of time into a Vanilla WoW server in order to get your character to max level, gear them up, etc. And if you feel like there's a threat, there's a possibility that that character may be removed, the server may be shut down, then it just really... it changes your desire. You don't really want to do it. You don't really want to risk investing properly. It's partially why I haven't done it. And I think also, people are quite excited for Legion, and unlike with Warlords of Draenor, I am not willing to hype something that I haven't yet played. I'm looking forward to it being released tonight. As part of the reason why I wanted to do this was so that we could maybe have a gauge. Like, I wanted to come back and play this and say, are my feelings and my thoughts on older versions of World of Warcraft justified? Like, maybe I should reevaluate my choices then going into Legion. And I've got to say, like, there's a lot of fun that I've experienced here. I mean, you'll have already seen how many people I've grouped up with, and I'll mention that at the end of the video. And whether I do that outside of dungeons in Legion, it'll yet to be seen. But I've got to say, it is really nice to come back to this and just experience what WoW was like in its initial state. But I think a lot of the reason why people moved to Nostalrius and why it was so successful was because of the content drought. And I don't know if Legion is going to do that. Regardless of how good Legion is, and regardless of whether we experience kind of a move to even more casual gameplay, if it repeats the mistakes of Warlords of Draenor, then I do think that one thing it will do right is that it will have content. It does seem already, what with 7.1 already being announced with Karazhan, the new 9 boss dungeon and all of that stuff, I do think it will have content to it. The quality of that content is yet to be seen by my own eyes, but it will certainly have stuff to explore and to decide whether it's good. It won't be a case where there's so little stuff that even if it was really good, you'd still feel bored for like 14 months of doing one raid. So close and yet so far. Level 9, halfway through level 9, on a playthrough to level 10, and we experience our first death to this scorpid fucker. Okay, time for some vengeance now, baby. Let's do this. If I can get him away from his mate. Get the battle shout on. What the fuck? Why are you doing so much DPS? I'm out of here. Jesus Christ. Venomtail Scorpion OP, nerf, please. Welcome to vanilla questing. This is the situation we are in. I am tempted to have to go back and do level 7 quests because the current ones are too difficult to do at level 9. This is vanilla questing. It's not all roses. Right, well, I said I wasn't going to do it, but fuck it, I am. no vanilla playthrough will be complete without a little bit of Zalazane in it. Oh, he's reduced my size though. That -3 strength, what are we going to do? I've got this bastard. You can heal yourself all you want, mate. I've got heals of my own. Plus, I've got Blood Fury, mate. Them racials, am I right? It's really sad, but you know how I said at the beginning I was going to think about what made Vanilla WoW so good? The simple fact is that this is actually tense, and I give a shit about doing this correctly. And it's a level 9 quest. I genuinely care that much about it. That is what makes Vanilla WoW as good as it is. The fact that even at low levels, the intensity of a lot of what you've got to do makes it really worthwhile. And to be honest with you, I think we're about to hit level 10, so let's hand in these quests. The moment of truth, my friends. Will handing in these quests tip us into level 10? I think it may just do it. Manisha's Skull, is that going to do it? Inventory's full. Well, that was underwhelming. Is it going to push us into level 10? Boom! Now, what I will do now that we level 10 is I'll let you guys have a look at some vanilla World of Warcraft talents, because I know a lot of you preferred the talent system as it used to be, and personally, I am one of you. I definitely preferred it. Even though I understand these days the reason behind the current talents, I enjoy the progression that is felt through building up through a talent system like this. So, in arms to start off with, we can reduce the cost of Heroic Strike, we can increase parry chance, we can increase the bleed damage of Rend, we can increase our chance to get a critical strike as Fury, or we can increase the area effect and duration of our shouts, or we can go into protection and increase our chance to block attacks and increase our defense skill. Now, it should be interesting to know, because I know that you guys like to talk a little bit about the history of the game and in terms of its gameplay and mechanics, that it used to be a case that people didn't really take that many points in protection, I should say, in protection, because of the fact that it wasn't particularly useful. It was better to have a mixed build. And even though Fury is the optimum DPS spec for a warrior at endgame, around AQ onwards, Blackwing Lair maybe onwards, I am going to start off with some arms points, purely because of the fact that this increased bleed damage from Rend seems like the best starting talent to use. So I'm going to take that. So guys, with that monumental decision taken, what is up next? We are at level 10. I said I was going to end it at level 10, but I feel like this video would not be complete without a trip to Orgrimmar, so that you guys can all see Orgrimmar as it was in Vanilla. It is a sight to behold. So I will meet you when we get to the famous city. Just to explain in a little bit more detail for anybody who's interested in knowing, the reason why I preferred the old talent system, I'll take out this little bozzer whilst I talk to you. The reason why I preferred the old talent system is because of the fact that it allowed for more of a mixed build in a game which is based around meta. Now, it's kind of the nature of MMOs for there to be cookie cutter builds which are better suited for different environmental decisions, different bosses, different activities, etc. And before the Burning Crusade, or before Wrath, I can't remember which, you could put points into any of the 3 talents. You weren't locked to one of them. I know that there came a point in time where you had the same 3 trees, but you could only choose to put points in one until you'd spent a certain amount, then you could put the remaining points in another, which is interesting in the sense that it allows you to kind of be more niche in what you're playing. You're an assassination rogue, or you're a combat rogue, you're an arms warrior, etc. But this is good because it means that you can have more of an interesting build. So for example, I don't intend to go arms. If I was to play this character more, I'd probably eventually go Fury, but I can take points in arms and protection and Fury if I want to, or I can go all Fury. And I think that that's what I liked about it, the fact that you could have more of a custom build in a game where the tendency to have a build that maybe 1 or 2 other people created was so high. This allowed there to be more acceptable builds. So that's my personal reason why. I just thought I'd explain why I personally enjoyed the older system. Whereas nowadays, we've got a system where you have talents where maybe you can choose one of 3, and whichever you choose, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can pick one and you're not going to be hated for it. You can make your own choices, so it's interesting for the player. But there's still a lack of choice. Like, the selection is by its very nature varied. With this, you can choose to go into one tree first, then go to another, or you can go to another tree first and then go into the first one. And you can select which one you go into at what time. You maybe just stick with one. It's just a nice varied system. So here we are, the gates of Orgrimmar. Your first sight of this is fantastic, and I think that now it's time for me to round up this video, round up my experience of the last 4 hours of leveling through Durotar on the Kronos server, the main Kronos server. What I think about Vanilla WoW, what I think about the game in general, and the server. Well, let's start off with the server. Now, from what I've seen so far, there seems to be a fairly decent number of players, and even though it's a weekday, it is evening time now, it is a weekday, though I must say, it does sadden me a little to note that there is nowhere near, from what I can see, as many players as there were on the Nostalria server. And I think that does reflect, as I said earlier, the fact that many people were turned off by the fact that if they were playing on a private server, they could find themselves without their characters after a while if the server got banned. Now, as you can see, there are still a lot of people who group up to do pogues and stuff like that. There's still quite a decent player size. And to be honest with you, I know there are a lot of people who played on the Nostalrias and who played on Kronos who preferred Kronos because they didn't want such a huge community like the one that was on Nostalrias. It was considered too big. Now, just coming here through Orgrimmar, you can clearly see that the server is by no means lowly populated, or underpopulated, I should say. There's definitely a good community here, and this is on a weekday again. It's not the weekend or anything like that. So, the server, Kronos, is well worth a try if you're interested in playing a vanilla experience. If I was to play vanilla again, I would have no problem coming back to this server. I would enjoy that, and I would really look forward to it and continuing where I left off with this character. Now, talking about Vanilla WoW and how it relates to the current game, Retail World of Warcraft. I'm going to just zoom in here. I'm just going to run through Orgrimmar so you guys can get a nostalgia trip whilst I talk. So, what is it about vanilla that draws me back to play the game? What is it about vanilla that draws you guys back to play the game, that makes it so successful, that makes people want to watch the videos that I make and other people make of Vanilla WoW, the Burning Crusade, etc.? Well, first of all, I think you have to say it's the interaction. I can count at least 3 occurrences in the last 4 hours where I grouped up with players because it felt like I needed to. It felt like it would actually accomplish something. It would make it easier for me if I grouped up with some people to help me with quests. You don't get that in Modern World of Warcraft. The closest thing you get is like a Doomlord Kazakh group or something like that. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be helped in Legion or anything like that. And I wonder if maybe it's just a factor of the streamlined nature of the game. But the sad thing is that World of Warcraft was a much more social game back in the day. And I hate using the phrase back in the day, but it's simply the truth. Part of me thinks that it might have been down to the fact that the game was more challenging in the sense that mobs hit harder and you hit weaker and your health was less, so you had a higher chance of dying if you didn't have health. So I think that the social interaction side of the game is the main thing which draws people back. The 2 main factors are the nostalgia, people who just want to see sites like this, people who want to run Molten Core again, who want to run Nax 40-man, AQ, who want to experience 40-man raiding, who want to experience Blackrock Spire 10-man, etc., those kinds of things. The old talent system, all of these things which have been removed. That is one of the reasons, and the other reason is, as I've mentioned, the social interaction side of the game, which is just different than how it is now. So what can Legion learn? What would I hope that Legion will learn? Well, first of all, I hope that, unlike Warlords of Draenor, I hope that it learns that having content put out on a regular basis is really helpful to the game. It draws players back. Content for both the raiders and the hardcore players, and for the casual players who are maybe not so interested in getting up to that really end-game stuff. I think it also needs to bear in mind that challenge and intensity and immersion at endgame level and all through the experience are mandatory if you want to retain a player base. Am I excited for Legion? Very much so. I will be logging on tonight and I will definitely be playing a significant amount of the game. I'm really looking forward to it. But I really enjoyed playing vanilla today because, for me, you have to understand and appreciate what World of Warcraft was in 2004, what it was in 2007 with the Burning Crusade, what it was in 2008 or 9 when Wrath of the Lich King came out, if you want to understand why it became the most popular MMO of all time, and why it's still around today, 12 years after it came out. Now that is an achievement in itself. So guys, just have one last look around Thrall's Keep, and you can see there he is, the man himself, the Green Jesus, sitting like a boss, before he turned into all of that beads and stuff like that. And I hope you enjoyed this, guys. My name has been Mittens. Have a great day, and enjoy Legion when it comes out. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.